they were not in Egypt. They were now on the mountain of God. You must see this, dear saints. You must see this, that when the law was given, the place was one where God was meeting with his people, and where his people were contacting God. Do you believe could such a thing happen on this earth? Read Exodus 19. And you read Exodus 20. You can see God came down. Before his incarnation, God came down. At least once, of course. Not only this time, in chapter 18 of Genesis, we all know. God came to stay with Abraham at his tent. God came there. That was God coming to Abraham, right? But not in such a scale. When God came to Abraham, his coming or his appearing to Abraham was in much smaller scale. Now it's over 2 million people. Oh, 2 million people gathered to the mount of God, and God came down to visit them. And they even heard God's voice. How about this? God came to them. Of course, firstly, God gathered them to God himself. Right? God gathered them. God brought them out of Egypt and brought them into the mountain of God. Then, when they were so ready, God came down to talk to them. Even here, in this book, 31:18, this word communion is used, right? Communion. God was communion with man. God was conversing, talking with man. So, in chapter 19, God was there on the mountain, on this earth, with man. Then God began to talk. God said, "You all have sinned. I brought you out of Egypt, just like a big eagle, putting you all on my wings. I have brought you here. What I want is to make you a kingdom of priests." Right? We saw this. This was a nice talk. This was a nice talk. This was not a talk just giving the decree of something. Am I right? This was a talk. This was a kind of a communion. Right? God came to talk to people. Then, after chapter 19, verse 20, says, "And God gave the law." You read it? Don't look at me. Look at your Bible. What does verse 1 of chapter 20 say? And God gave the commandment, number 1, you shall have no other gods. Number 2, you shall not make any image, any likeness of anything, and you shall not bow yourself to them, nor serve them. And you shall not use my name in vain. And you have to remember the Sabbath day. You have to honor your father and mother. And then you shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal people. You shall not witness falsely. And you shall not covet. Read verse 1. And God spake all these words. Not like this.